So good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here in the sanctuary, and welcome everyone online. My name is Reverend Dr. Ellen, and I'm so glad to be back with all of you today. How many of you are here for the very first time? Anyone? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. So we are in March. I think this is the third week. Actually, I've lost track. Second or third week? Third week, thank you. Third week of March, and we are continuing our theme, which is transitions. And it is also officially the first day of spring. Woo! The first day of spring, and it is also International Day of Happiness. International Day of Happiness. And it was actually started in 2013 by the UN. And they started International Day of Happiness to put a focus on the well-being and happiness of people worldwide, globally. And how many of you know which country or countries is always at the top of that list? Anyone? Finland this year, right? It's one of those Scandinavian countries. We actually scored 14, which isn't actually too bad considering how many countries there are in the world. But we could definitely be happier, no doubt about it. So their theme this year is Better Together. So why not marry our theme, which is transitions, with Better Together, and we will transition better together. So let's get into that on the first day of spring. So Aristotle actually said that happiness is the meaning and purpose of life, the whole aim of human existence. Right? The whole aim of being alive is to be happy. And yet, why are so many people unhappy? Why are so many people unhappy? And I'm not talking about people that don't have a lot, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about us that have so much. Why are we unhappy? How many of you have the I'll be happy when, right? I'll be happy when I finally get some muscle on these arms, right? Or I'll be happy when I lose the weight. I'll be happy when I retire. I'll be happy when I find the love of my life. I'll be happy when I finally get my dream house. Right? How many of you have had the happy-itis? I'll be happy when-itis. Yeah, we're waiting to be happy for something outside of us to happen. Right? We think the grass is always greener, don't we, on the other side? Well, I can tell you for a fact it is not true because the grass in my yard is brown. It is very brown. So it is definitely not greener. Right? This is, Wilmington is a beautiful, lovely city. It's very different from California. The grass right now is not greener. But I know it's going to get green. I know it's going to get green. So the question is, what can we do to be happy now, no matter what is going on in our lives? What can we do to be happy now? As Terrell just sang, right? Don't worry, be happy. Even if you don't have a roof over your head or no bed to sleep in. So here's the reality. Happiness resides not in possessions and not in gold. Happiness dwells in the soul. I think that rhymed, didn't it? Right? It dwells in the soul. So what makes your soul sing? What makes you happy? What makes you happy? Go ahead, shout it out. Grandchildren. God willing, one day. My daughter said not for at least 10 years, which is good. And that makes me happy. She just moved here with her boyfriend. So as the first time in probably a good year, we have everybody under one roof. That makes me really happy. What else? What else makes us happy? Unity of Wilmington. Yes. Woohoo! Let's give a round of applause to that. And online, please go ahead and post in Facebook what makes you happy. We'd love to hear from you. And it makes me happy to be standing here, speaking to all of you. But I want you to think about it, right? When your soul sings, it is spirit within you expressing. And each one of us has a divine gift that wants to come out, that wants to express. And so when you think about all the different things that you do, whether you're playing music, you're singing, you're doing art, or you're dancing, or you're speaking, or you're writing, or you're just being who you are. That is your soul expressing. And when we get into the flow of doing the things that we really love to do, don't we feel happier? Yeah, we feel happier. We don't do those things to be happy. We do those things because it's our soul expressing our happiness. So if you want to be happy now, it's remembering that happiness is an inside job, right? How many of you have heard the expression that happiness is a state of mind? Yeah, my husband will tell me that every single day. He is my best, biggest spiritual teacher. Of all the spiritual teachers I've ever had, he's been my best because he reminds me of the truth. Happiness is a state of mind. But yet, again, what do we do when we're just not feeling it? How many of you have those days where it doesn't matter how many times you tell yourself, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. And you're not. You're miserable. So we are allowing the outside conditions, the outside situations, the cloudy day, which, thank you, God, the sun is out today, but we allow those conditions to determine whether or not we are going to be happy, whether or not we are going to enjoy our lives. So we are letting the outside determine our inner state instead of the other way around, which is our soul, right? The meaning of our life is to be happy. So we want to express that in every day, in every way that we possibly can. But when it doesn't work, when that state of mind just doesn't work, it's not like, voila, turn a switch, and I'm happy. So we have to know how to activate that is within us, what we can do to be happy. And so expressing our gifts and doing those things that put us in the flow are things that we can absolutely do. But there are some keys to happiness. So let's take a look at how we can do that. So Aristotle also said, hopefully not contradicting what he said earlier, that happiness is an expression of the soul in considered actions. So what are things that we can consider doing that are more intentional, specific things that we can do every day to be happier, to live happier, to express who we truly are? Now let's take a look at what our lessons are today. So, keys to happiness, K-E-Y-S. So the first key, everyone? Kindness. Kindness. And when you think about it, when people are kind to you, don't you feel happy? Especially when it's those random acts of kindness. The person that is in front of you in line that has a giant basket of food, and you're just standing there with your one thing because you ran in to get that one thing, and of course you're in line behind the people that have the giant bag or basket. And they say, you know what, why don't you step in front of me? Go ahead, it's okay. You only have one thing. And the huge smile on their face, right? That was really nice. Random act of kindness. How many of you have ever dropped a quarter in the meter for someone? Can we still do that? I'm still trying to figure out those new parking things that you got to download an app or you need a card or whatever it is. I still have a car full of quarters. To go to the laundromat, which I don't have to do anymore. I actually got a washer and dryer on Friday. Yes. For those of you that know me, this has been a dream of mine for 20 years. Right? And I am very grateful for laundromats, absolutely. But I now have a washer and dryer, which I'm going to use tonight for the very first time. But random acts of kindness, when we open the door for someone, when we smile at someone, it's easy to do acts of kindness, I think, for people that we love. Make your spouse a cup of coffee, wash their back in the shower, buy their favorite food at the store. Simple to do those kinds of things. But what about for the people that we don't necessarily like? How can we be kinder to those people? Right? Well, maybe we can open up our minds and recognize that we are all one. We are all connected. What happens over there happens here. I might not agree with everyone, but I can love everyone. And we are really blessed that we get to choose how to be, how to live. And so we can be kinder and gentler to those that we disagree with. And I think one of the most important people we need to be kinder to is ourselves. Right? What does self-care look like? Don't beat yourself up because you haven't gone to the gym in 2 weeks. Right? Or you haven't lost the weight. Or you're not where you want to be yet in your career. Right? Or you forgot the verse to a song or what you were going to say, at church, or anything that we beat ourselves up about. Be kinder and gentler to ourselves. We are all on our own spiritual path, our own spiritual journey. And as we say every Sunday, we are always exactly where we're supposed to be at the exact right time. So there's no reason not to be kind to ourselves. One of my favorite books on kindness is called The Power of Kindness. It's by Piero Fiorucci. And in the foreword, or the opening to that book, he wrote this. The Dalai Lama wrote this about the book. He said, "Foster warmth, kindness, compassion. Our lives will be more meaningful, happier, and peaceful." And we know that peace begins within. So if I'm more peaceful with myself, I'm going to be kinder. I'm going to be gentler. I'm going to be happier. Right? I'm going to be happier. So the first key to happiness is kindness. All right. Let's take a look at the second key. The second key, E, not Ellen, but expect good in your life. Expect good in your life. Not worst case scenario. Expect that no matter what happens out there, it's good. There's another person who tells me that every day. It's all good. It's all good. So when we ask each other, "Hey, how you doing?" and people say, "Good." Well, tell me what's good. Go ahead and post that in the chat there. Tell me what's good. So what is good in your life right now? What's good? Go ahead, shout it out. Everything. There we go. That's the perfect answer, right? What else? What else is good in our lives? The beach. What else? You're alive. Yes. We are alive. We're breathing. We have another day to express, to be, to live. When we expect good, we start looking for it. We literally start looking for it. It's like when we express gratitude. The more things we're grateful for, the more things we find to be grateful for. I think I mentioned this last Sunday, but in my business, one of the things that I do every month is I run a 30-day challenge on WhatsApp. And this month's challenge is 3 for Good, which is from the Happiness Organization. And every day, people have to post 3 good things that they experienced, they expressed, or they did in their day. And it has changed who I am, without a shadow of a doubt. I recognize that I feel better. I am definitely happier because I'm looking for good things. And if I get to the end of the day and I'm like, I can't think of anything good that happened today, I said, wait a second. There's a lot of good things that happened today. Just the fact that you're breathing and you're alive, that's good. The fact that, I got to drive around yesterday and find the amphitheater for the very first time. I went to the Pause for Vets, I think it was the festival. That was really good. I got to be outside in the sunshine, listen to, music. When you think about all the everyday things that we take for granted, those are all good. Those are good. We get to do these things. So when we expect the good, no matter what is happening out there, if it's cloudy, it's still good, because you know what? What's behind the clouds? The sun is always shining somewhere. Or just like it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. Right? So it's always good, and we expect good. We shift from looking for the other shoe to drop, or worrying, or being concerned. We're not going to roll back in fear. Remember last week we talked about that? Fear, which is everything, or forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. Face everything and rise. Spring forward, because it's all good. All right, so let's take a look at the third Oh, actually, before we get into that, here's the quote about that, about expecting good. Our happiness depends on the habit of mind we cultivate. So, practice happy thinking every day. So if you want to expect good, you have to change how you think. Because everything that we create begins in mind first. We know that. It starts here. And so what I think about, I bring about. So if I want to bring about more good, I have to think positively. I have to believe that no matter what, it's going to be good. No matter what changes happen, no matter what we're transitioning from or to, it's good. So it starts in mind, and I believe it also is important for it to be here, for it to be expressed out here. So let's look at the third key. Yellow, as you can see from the slide. Sunshine, sunshine. Now here's the truth. Yellow is actually a happy color. It's been proven that when you are wearing yellow, when you are around yellow, or coral, bright, warm colors, bright colors, it makes you happier. It makes you happier. And that's one of the reasons why people that live in sunny climates are happier. Right? Unless, there's one little caveat, the UN determined this in their study, that if you do live in a dry, arid area where the sun never goes away, you're not as happy as people that live in Finland or Norway or Sweden when the sun comes out. Right? But think about it. Yellow is a happy color. And we're talking about spreading sunshine here. And it's interesting because when we moved into our house, the third bedroom, I guess it's technically a bedroom, was painted this bright yellow. And we were trying to determine who was going to be in what room, what was going to be bedroom, what was going to be an office. And I showed the kids the rooms, and nobody wanted the yellow room. Not because it was yellow, the size of it didn't work, the dimensions for their furniture, whatever it was. So it ended up becoming my office. And my first thought was, oh, I gotta paint this room, it's really yellow. I don't know if I can work in this room, because it was bright. You walk in and it's really bright. But what I discovered was when I was in my office, I felt happy. And my son would come in, he said, Mom, this room is just, it fills your soul. The sun comes in the window, and even if it doesn't come in, look at how yellow that is. That is actually the view from my desk. What I cut out was the two windows on the side there, but look at how yellow that is. It's a happy color. So, fill your life with yellow. Right? So even when the sun isn't shining, we can bring the light that we have within, bring it out. So when you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. Be that light. Be that light that shines wherever you go. Right? Spring forward with your smile. And that's a perfect segue to our fourth lesson, which the last key, not the only key, but the last one I'm going to share today, is sharing smiles. I can think of very few things that spread happiness more than a big smile. Right? When we smile, it lights up the room. It lights up our inner life. It actually changes our physiology when we are smiling. And so when you're not having a great day, when you're not feeling it, no matter how much you try to change your mind about it, just smile. So I want everyone right now to put a huge smile on your face. Turn to your left, turn to your right, look behind you, look in front of you, post the word smile on Facebook. How many of you feel a little bit happier? Just, yes, woo! Just smiling. And, you know, it's so simple to do. It is so simple to do. And, you know, the Buddha said thousands of candles can be lighted from one single candle. Happiness never decreases by being shared. So we can give away our smiles and let it ripple out into the world. Right? Like a stone that's thrown into the water, it just ripples and ripples and ripples and ripples. or the butterfly effect. I have my butterfly earring on. I'd let it ripple out into the world. You know, again, I didn't know this was mostly going to be about you today, Jose, but when we, I have another story. When we lived in California, our apartment was walking distance to the kids' elementary school, so we'd walk our kids to school. And we'd always say good morning, and we'd smile at everybody, good morning, good morning, good morning. And very few people would smile back and say good morning. As a matter of fact, most people didn't smile and say good morning. Now, I don't know if it was a cultural difference or people were not awake, they hadn't had their coffee yet, because I was like, oh, good morning. But he's like, good morning, sharing smiles with everyone. And little by little by little by little, people started smiling back. People started saying good morning, to the point where they would see him coming down the street. Good morning! How you doing? Great day. And it changed our neighborhood. It definitely changed me. What a beautiful lesson that we can just be that sunshine. And you never know what a difference you might make in somebody's life by just smiling at them, saying good morning. When I used to pass, people on the street, homeless, or holding up a sign when I'd come to like an intersection, and I'd feel bad if I didn't have any change on me or money or food or anything that I could give. And I thought, well, the least thing I could do is give a smile. And each and every time I did that, and I got a smile back, bless you, thank you, I realized we don't have to give a lot to give a lot. It doesn't have to be something big to make a big difference in other people's lives. So just smile. Just smile. And in the words of Ernest Holmes, who is another New Thought, religious science, just after unity, he said, we are born to be happy, to be abundantly supplied with every good thing, to have fun in living, to consciously unite with the divine power that is around us and within us, and to grow and expand forever. So don't worry, be happy, put a smile on your face, and spread sunshine all over the place. Just put on a happy